Welcome to the Flip Side, episode 13. Episode 13. I'm here with my friend Chris from Flip the World. Chris, welcome to the Flip Side.
Welcome. I'm so excited. What's going on, boss?
It's 13 lucky or unlucky for you? Is that a lucky or unlucky number?
Well, my lucky number is 4, so 1 plus 3 is 4. So let's go with it.
Okay, that works. Yeah. You know, like because I think some people say it's a lucky number, some say it's unlucky, right? Because I know some hotels don't have floor 13.
Yeah, which isn't it kind of weird that we as a society like have all just like accepted the fact that there's no 13th floor, there's no mile marker 666.
Oh, there is
that.
Oh, really? I didn't even see. I didn't know about that. Okay. Hey.
Yeah, it's just crazy, these superstitions that we were like, okay, well, those will all just naturally agree. No 13th floor, no mile marker 666.
I know about 666 from like the Bible stuff. Where did 13 come from? Do you know? Like, what made 13 so unlucky?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Freaking 13 is like, what did I do, guys? I'm just chilling. You guys
just trying to live here and be a number.
It's funny. Like, I remember, like, it was like 10 years ago, my uncle died and we weren't ready for him to die yet. And we had to get land right away. We went to the cemetery and there was like one super cheap plot. And we're like, why is this plot cheap? And they're like, it's in column 66. It's in row 6. Nobody wants it. And we were like, all right, we're buying it.
Like, sounds perfect. Wrap it up.
It was legit half the price of the other plots because nobody wanted column 66, row 6. Or like, nobody knows.
Even do that.
There's no numbers.
The drink I get at Starbucks, because I get almond milk, they charge you 70 cents. So my drink comes out to being $6.66. And they're always like, they're always like, it's 6. They don't even say it. They just show me it on the screen. They're like, your total is, and I'm like, it's just a number. You can say it. I mean, if you really didn't want it to be there, you would change the pricing.
like, do you want something extra? You want to buy an extra?
Well,
shot
no, they hit you.
So
they hit you with that. The thing's going to ask you a question real quick, and they want you to press that $1 tip. So it's $7.
Oh, yeah. So that yeah, for sure. Look at you, bougie Starbucks guy right here. Huh?
Well, hey, now I make it at home. I just buy the big bottles. I buy the big bottles of the iced coffee, and I just make it at the house. It's a lot cheaper.
So you do you say oat milk or almond milk?
Yeah. So I do. So they came out with Silk. Has almond milk that they now have a mocha flavor, which is what I usually get. It's just an iced coffee, and I add mocha. So now I just do it at the house, and it's like $5, and I can make like an entire week's worth in one jug. So yes,
it's crazy how, like, if you eliminate just something as simple as that from your daily expense, how much money you can save.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Just one thing. Take Starbucks away, you're like, whoa.
Not only that, but because I'm a reseller, and more importantly, because I only go to the bins, everything is retail to me. So everything is like, in my mind, I'm like, wait, did you say $6.66 for a 12-ounce coffee? Oh my God.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine today send me a link to Timberland having a sale for their clothes. Oh. I'm like, does it look like I buy anything new?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't think I ever bought a new shirt in my life. I'm not definitely going to Timberland and getting.
And that's how I've always felt about like gym clothes. Like, people are really big into like Lululemon and Alpha Elite and even Under Armour. Like, everyone goes out and gets all this expensive workout gear, and I'm just like, I've always just gone to the Goodwill. Got crappy like graphic t-shirts because after like a month of wearing them, they smell and I got to throw them out anyway.
That's it. Like something like I'm the same way. So like when I see like a brand new Nike at a yard sale and the retail tax is $160, like, people are paying $160 for some pants. Nike. Yeah. I thought like it was like $30-$40 new. Like that's what kind of my mentality was. I was like, wow, it's $160.
Yeah,
for a pair of sweatpants. Okay.
I better look fabulous in those for $160.
Yeah, so they better take away half my weight or something.
Exactly.
I don't know what they better do.
I want the scale to drop 50 pounds immediately.
Better do some kind of miracle. So almond milk, right? Because you're vegan, right?
Yes.
How long have you been vegan for?
I think this is year 5, but I've been vegetarian now 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that most of your life was 20. I don't know.
Yeah, half.
I figure you're close to. Oh, you're 40.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're an old man. Old man, Chris.
I'm an old man in a young man's game.
So what happened when you turned 20? You said I'm done with meat. What
Uh,
happened there?
Honestly, it was just like a dare. I got dared
Oh,
to do it
really?
for I got dared to do it for a month, and then like
You take your dare seriously?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did it. I not only did I, it was a dare, but B, I lost a lot of weight very quickly. And
Oh,
around that time I was probably like 325.
dang.
So I kind of needed something to jumpstart life anyway. But yeah, I lost a lot of weight, and then I just never went back. Uh and then, when I was
Did
a
you get like
teenager,
different kind of energy or something from it? Did
yeah,
you?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
like
just felt better. Now obviously the hard part is meat's what keeps you feeling full. And so when you
yes.
take that out, most people replace that with carbs, so bread, rice,
Hmm.
pasta. So that's why people are like, "You're vegan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still fat. I eat a lot of carbs. I still like bread."
I'm like you can be a fat vegan.
Yeah, dude. You could get all you can eat pasta with just marinara sauce at Olive Garden and just the never ending pasta. Like you're good to go.
Yeah.
Um, but I had already been when I was like 15. When I was 15, I woke up one morning and I had lost all the muscle from the waist down, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So like I was in a
Dang.
wheelchair, being tested, like poked and prodded, and it turns out that I have Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a form of muscular dystrophy, where at any time
Whoa.
my body could just turn off all muscle. Um,
That's
and they
scary.
yeah, I was still living in North Carolina then, so I'm not going to say backwoods doctors, but small town. They couldn't figure out what was going on, so they attributed it to it. I had eaten some sort of infected chicken, and I had received this illness from that. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm done with that. So from
Oh,
like
okay.
15 to like almost 17, I was already vegetarian because I was told that was what caused it, and then I slowly went from a wheelchair to a cane or to crutches to a cane to now I just get cramps in my calves occasionally. They'll like turn inward so it looks like a bowl. Um,
So you get like that
like
what's it
spasms.
called? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like painful spasms.
I've had it back when I used to play football. Like those cramps are,
Yeah.
whew,
Yeah,
they
if they ever
hurt. Like,
happen like at the bins or anything, like people are gonna see, I'm just gonna fall on the ground. There's nothing you could do. You can't do anything about it.
yeah.
I just start rubbing it like ah. um,
They're like, what is this guy yelling?
yeah. What is this guy's problem? Hasn't he been arrested enough?
Well, in Texas, they might think you have like a spirit in you. They might call the
Yeah, yeah,
exorcist
yeah.
on you or something. You
Yeah,
never know. You
all the
gotta be
Hispanic
careful.
women come start rubbing eggs on me and stuff, trying to cure me.
You gotta be careful about that.
So about 17, I started introducing meat back into we moved to Texas. I started introducing meat back into my diet, and then I just blew. I went out of control. I went back to doing like competitive eating contests and stuff like
Oh,
that.
dang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the last meat meal that I had before I went vegetarian was I ate 75 spicy garlic buffalo wings in 1 hour.
Sheesh. In
Yeah.
1 hour.
Yeah. It
That's
was a competition for Buffalo Wild Wings.
Did you hold it down too? Did they
No, I
say anything?
puked like 8 times in the parking lot.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say that's
I was like a
kind of hard.
sprinkler in the parking lot. I couldn't stop. Like I could not stop throwing up. But I made it out of the restaurant. So I walked out a champion.
Yeah,
And in
that's
the
the most
parking
important
lot,
part.
I was
As long as they look out the window, they were
yeah,
like, "Oh,
just
that guy's good."
lots of closed mouth and thumbs up as I'm walking out. Then I got to the parking lot and it was just like
Dang, sheesh. All right, so the wings like that did it. You're like, I'm done.
yeah, I was like, oh, this is a horror. I was like, I was told chicken's what made me sick, and here I am eating way more than any
Yeah.
human should ever eat. Maybe I should rethink my life.
Is there like a competitive eating for stuff that's not meat? Usually, I only see in me. What'd you do? Oh, what, are you getting camera shy, Chris? What are you doing?
No, sorry.
Well,
There we go.
I can. This the beauty about pre-recorded is that part's getting cut. So
Okay, cool.
you're
Yeah.
good.
So my computer has a webcam on the screen,
Uh huh.
and then I actually use a camera that's on my little stand with my microphone, an actual one I bought. But sometimes the camera was like, hey, let's use this one connected to the monitor.
You actually have like a stand now? I remember back in the day, you used to have like 8 shoe boxes, and then you put like a little faux tripod on it.
I upgraded and I found a stand that one holds your camera, and then it has, so it looks kind of like this. So the camera's on this one, and then the microphone comes out, so it's right here, so it looks more professional, like kind of like a microphone. Yeah,
look at you. Well,
and then I got green lights.
I just got this last week, so I wasn't professional either until last week.
That looks good. It sounds good.
In the past, I just had a little like mic stand, and I couldn't type and talk at the same time. So it was also really, I had to put a little shoebox here so the mic reached my face. It was bad.
And some of your episodes, were you like in a, oh my goodness,
your camera,
it's gonna drive me nuts. I'm sorry. Some of your episodes were in a garage, correct?
Back in the day, for the flip
maybe
side, no, they were all here.
Oh, okay.
I had my other lives were back in my warehouse back in
warehouse
when I used to live there.
Okay.
When I was a northern folk, now I'm one of you.
And you sit, correct? Because I know some people, like Dalton does a standing, like most of his podcasts before he got on the couch was like standing.
No, if I stood, you would see my crotch. You wouldn't see anything else.
I mean, that might be great content.
Depends if I'm trying to like stream it to OnlyFans at the same time. I think it might be good, but we're just keeping to YouTube and Spotify at this point.
So have you created a Kick account yet?
I don't know what that even is, so probably not.
You know Twitch, correct?
I know Twitch, yes.
Okay, so Twitch is like, obviously it's basically what Whatnot is minus the selling aspect. It's for gamers originally, but Twitch, you get a 95-5 split. I'm sorry, it's a 50-50 split.
For like the donations that come in, or
for
the
what,
subs and stuff. Okay,
yeah, it's 50-50. Obviously, if somebody gives you money on YouTube, they get 30%, so it's a 30-60 split. Kick is a new streaming platform. It's 95-5.
Wow, 95 to me. I hope
it's gonna drive me nuts.
You good, man?
You're like, I am so glad that I invited him. You're having to make little. Getting so angry right now. I'm trying not to like.
I've seen some of your lives. It never happens on your lives. What's going on here?
I've done two. I had to redo an interview with the Slim Pickers because the first time I did it, it kept doing this. And then we finally got it to work. Basically, I reset my computer and then we went back on and we recorded the whole thing. Everything was good. And then he messaged me the next day and he goes, hey, guy, we're going to have to reshoot. Everything's good on your end, but I have no volume on my microphone. I was like, you didn't turn your mic on? I was like, I heard you when we were doing the interview. But so I had to do a second take and it was fine. I just changed my answers a little bit.
You couldn't do a voiceover
well, he would have had to do his voiceover asking the questions. Yeah. But I mean, it was good. It was fun. But yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing it. All right. Okay. I mean, everything looks good. Sounds good.
All right.
I mean, this is what you get when you bring on Flip the World. So, I mean, this is
apparently this is how it works.
this is going to make more people want to reach out and have me on.
I don't remember where we were at before your whole camera fiasco happened. So I don't know, something about talking about something probably not important if I don't remember it right. So it's probably about chicken wings or something like that. So, something like that.
So not too important. Just chicken wings.
Not too important. So thank you for coming, by the way, on Independence Day. So now it's a big holiday for you.
I mean, I don't think it would be America if you didn't have me on the show.
Yeah. I'm upset you didn't come with your USA suit. I thought you could have come wearing that, but you came with an Iron Maiden shirt.
I don't fit into it anymore.
You don't fit into it?
I'm a true American. I have outgrown it.
You have outgrown the USA flag suit. Oh man, that's about as American as probably as Texan as it gets, to be honest.
I don't even know if I'm going to fit into my outfit that I have for FlipCon. I have to try it back on, see how much I have to lose or gain.
You have a special outfit for FlipCon? I'm excited.
Oh, I have a couple special outfits. It's a multi-day event. So.
Do I need to pack an outfit? I don't know. There was an outfit kind of thing.
I don't think there was a dress code requirement, but what I remember from last year is there was GoPros everywhere, and I think being the guy dressed up in outfits is a good way to be in the back scene of
Oh,
everyone's YouTube. People are like, Jesus, what is that guy in the background wearing?
I see what you did. There we go. That's a smart move. And
Yeah.
I heard the after party this year is 80s themed, right? So you have an 80s themed outfit.
I mean, I could just show up naked. I was born in the 80s. This is what I look like in the 80s.
I guess that works. I guess that could work. I don't know if they will allow that or not, but technically,
I mean, again, it's going to be another great clip on somebody's YouTube.
Might have to do a lot of blurring or something, but
no, see, he had mentioned it was either going to be Western or 80s, so I didn't know. Like, I was like, oh well, Western. I mean, we're from Texas. This is going to be easy. Yeah. But if he did announce that it's going to be 80s, then we still might just show up as Western. They had cowboys. we'll just tell everybody that we're the urban cowboys.
There you go.
She's was it Sissy? I can't remember.
Is the Good, Bad, and Ugly was that 80s or that earlier? So
I think that might have been 70s.
Okay, so say,
I don't know. Clint Eastwood's like 110, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's still alive though, right? Isn't Clint still kicking?
He's literally doing another movie right now.
There we go, my man.
Yeah,
my man.
Walking skeleton.
I always respect that from like people that are like super old but don't want to like end their craft. I wonder if that's going to be like us when we're like 80. Are we still gonna be at the bins? They can do the bins at 80. You think?
Well, see, people ask me that. They're like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I'm just like, probably still going live on Whatnot, live from the bins, just older. I enjoy it. I mean, hopefully I've had other things in place to where it's not the only, like, it's not the main stream of income, but just as something like I think I'm always going to want to entertain more than just my kids who aren't very entertained.
You need a bigger audience. Your kids aren't that impressed.
Yeah. I'm just like, all right, some of them have outgrown the jokes. You can only tell some dad jokes so many times. Like, yeah, we've heard that one. Okay.
The beautiful part about Whatnot is you get different crowd every single time, right? So then they haven't heard half the jokes yet.
My absolute favorite is when new people come in and they're just like, first time here, and then like after 2 minutes, they're like, oh my goodness, what did you just say? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how we do it on this show.
Like, oh, this is how it is. Okay.
They're like, oh, okay. It's always fun when like Harry will raid you because you just get like 300 people that come to your stream that are used to like how Josh and Haley are, and then all of a sudden they're just like
it's like that. It's two different extremes, that's for sure.
Yeah, they'll pop in right when I'm like telling my stream about how, like, you know, I've had diarrhea for the last 3 days while I'm holding up something I'm running at $3. Just like,
so sounds about right.
And they're just like, Josh sent us. Bye.
It was nice to know you.
You're like, don't know why he rated you.
I might step by in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, we will pray for you.
That's probably get that quite a bit, especially with where you are.
How you moved to Florida in February?
Yeah, February 1st.
So how's it? How's the adjust? How's it been going?
I feel like I'm fully adjusted. It took a little bit. It was a different. It wasn't just a location change; it was a completely different mindset change. Just from being in a warehouse to working out of your home, from all this stuff. I'm still got a lot of resale focus, but I'm focusing main on building the YouTube aspect of it now instead of just the reselling part. But they go hand in hand, so they both grow. But in the PA was all like list. I would list like 120, 130 items a day some days, and here I was like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, no,
we're doing it. We're working smarter, finding better items, higher ASP items, and focusing more on content and doing that. And so far, it's been good. It's hot.
Are you you're near a coast or you have like a beach close?
Yeah, I'm in Sarasota County, so I'm about an hour south of Tampa, an hour north of Fort Myers, right by a beach is 30 minutes away, which I think is it's a good time, you know. So
yeah,
it's not that far to go there, and if a hurricane comes, I'm kind of safe-ish.
I just imagine like if you literally were able to walk out of your house and like there's the beach, it would be very hard for like me thinking about it. Obviously not here. If the beaches here are brown water and you don't go in them. But I don't know. It would be very hard to like not be in vacation mode all the time.
Yeah,
Like if
it's
it was, you literally hear the waves and you're like, oh my God, yeah,
and
I got to list
hear
stuff today.
hear the family just laughing and all that,
Yeah.
and kids giggling. Yeah, you're like, all right,
So 30
let's
minutes
see
is
what's out
good to
there.
where you can still focus and get the work done and then be like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
done. I'm going to go walk on the beach.
yeah, it's because I said like in PA, I was about an hour and a half away. So if I wanted to do a beach trip, it would be a day event. It would be
Yeah.
like, all right, I have to leave in the morning, do this. Here, it's like legit. All right, 30 minutes. Let me go. Like even just watch the sunset or something. Let me just go and catch the sunset, be there
That's
for an
awesome.
hour and come back.
I
And
imagine the mental just is completely different too. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, Philly's a beast.
yeah, mental's completely different. Also, like my sleep schedule's complete. It's like so much change just from a move. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Also, we're surrounded by people that take things super slow, so I'm learning to slow down a little bit. In PA, it's like just rush. Got to get this done. And like everybody's like in a hustle mentality here. It's like we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, that's that beach life. Then yeah, man, chill out. There'll be more yard sales tomorrow.
Well, yard sales are a lot of people warn me saying, yo, don't come down here. Yard sales in Florida suck, all that. I've been finding so much good stuff here. So I don't know
Yeah.
if just my area is good or just people maybe look for different things than I look for. But I don't know. I've been
Well, it's just like I see,
stuff.
we all have the same mutual friends in Florida, and a lot of them are just like, oh, the bins in Florida are horrible. But then I see other people that I don't know at all that I'll just randomly stumble across their short or their reel or their video, and I'm just like, well, it looks like the bins are pretty good for them. I think it just depends on what you're like. If you're niche down to one certain thing, maybe it's not good. Or if you're a broad seller, like I used to be niche down to 2 items, and now I'm a broad seller, but I just don't see how the bins could be bad.
Yeah, I have one minute away from me. I should probably go there a little more often, right?
Oh wow, yeah,
legit 1 minute away. It's down the street.
Oh my God, that'd be cardio. Just walk there, do your thing, and then walk home. Well, unless you get a lot.
I have some people that I meet at yard sales that they go to that bins every day, and they show me vintage shirts they find almost every single day at that bins. So I was like, okay, like if I ever want to, I know it's a good place to go. But so far, I have enough crap from yard
terrify
sales.
Everybody there, so you'd find good stuff.
Well, I stumbled in there by accident because it said Goodwill Bargain Barn. It didn't say Goodwill Outlet, right? So I was like, what the heck is a Goodwill Bargain Barn? I go into it and it's the bins.
Oh, nice.
But it was like people were like, oh, look at this. So it wasn't like, oh,
they're taking their time looking at pieces.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this is a little more relaxed. And
oh wow, even at the bins they're slow. That's nice.
It was a lot of like middle-aged women. It wasn't like many like t-shirt freak guys or whatever, or like people that just buy shoes. I was like, okay, maybe if I need stuff in the future, I'll
you
come
can
and check it out.
Go dominate.
Yeah, I'll go live from them.
You just nobody's
done that yet, right?
Oh yeah, we got a few people doing it, but you could go. No one in Florida's done it. You could go in there live. You could go in there with the Philly mentality and just destroy everyone.
They might kick me out. They're like, "What is going on?"
You're the only one in the whole store going fast.
They're like, "What is this giant doing?
What is he doing? He knows this isn't supermarket sweep." I think he's on a timer.
Were you the first? I think you're the first to do it from the bins, right? Were you the first person to do it from the bins? Did you copyright that? Can you get royalties from people that go to it now?
No, I wish, man. I wish, because now we got there's another cat here that does it. Luckily, he's at a different location now, and I've seen someone in California. She does it, but she's really young, and you can tell like she's terrified. I don't know if it's because the bins there are terrifying, because all you hear is yelling, which it's the bins, so of course you're going to hear yelling. But like she's crouched down, like it looks like she's sitting down, and like she has her phone.
Oh, really?
She's like, okay, guys, this next item. And I'm like, are you being held against your will? Are you okay? Blink once if you're okay.
Yeah, but let me know if you need to come rescue.
So I think people like watch her just to see like if she's gonna get attacked, or I don't know. Like it's very weird. And then there's another lady that tried it, but she put her phone in her cart, like where kids would sit. And she would actually walk around, so it's all shaking and it's looking up at her, and she would just be digging. And she's like, "All right, guys, I'm going into this bin. It's got clothes. Let's see if I can find something good." but she was never selling anything. She was just showing people. And I'm like, well, that's
Yeah,
what you do like
gotcha.
on a Twitch stream or YouTube
Yeah,
or something or Kick.
that's
You don't do that on.
that's not a whatnot thing. So
Yeah, like
tell me how your logistics goes. Do you just go in there and like shop for an hour and then do the show, or do you just go in there and Stacy shops and you just do the show?
yeah. So we started going. We would get there at like 7:45 because the store opens at 8, and then we dig. Well, so I dig until 9, and then I have to go get everything set up and start sorting, and then start entering because I still enter everything to go live at
Yeah.
11. It usually takes me about an hour and a half to get like 120 items, and then my
That makes
wife
sense.
she keeps digging from 8 in the morning until 2:30 when we stop.
Oh
So we
wow.
will,
Okay.
yeah. So like while I'm streaming from 11 to 2:30, she is digging, and then like the chat, like if somebody in the chat was like, "Hey, if Stacy can find any Hawaiian dresses, size extra large," and we're like, and I'll be like, "Okay, do you care about brand?" "No, just dresses with flowers on them." "Okay." And then she's got it on while she's digging, so she can hear me.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be
That's
like, "Hey,
cool.
Stacy,
Okay.
someone's looking for XL floral dresses," and so she'll just grab a bunch of that. So we kind of cater to the stream. When we first started out, we were trying to sell stuff that we knew was good, like what stuff that we sold on our YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, on our eBay. And then we kind of learned like they'll tell you what they want, and since we're in
Yeah.
a position where we can cater to that, why not just do that?
No, guaranteed buyer, right?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
if you
So
get a
then it's
floral
just like
dress, somebody's buying it for sure. So yeah.
yeah. And then what we did to try to eliminate the amount of stuff we throw back is if we run something and maybe no one bids on it, but we know it's like something a reseller could make money on, like a bread and butter item, or maybe they don't know the brand, and we're like, hey, though, this is a good brand. We'll put it to the side, and at the end, we'll just take all that and run it as a leftover lot.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
that way we minimize what we're throwing back, and we're selling, we're selling out every show.
Yeah. That must be a good feeling to sell out before you even pay for the stuff.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And again, when we started, so I think this is month 11 for us.
Yeah.
We've been going live from the bins for 11 months. When we started, it was six people in the stream.
Yeah.
Not a lot of traction. And, again, we were trying to sell stuff that we would sell on eBay. So it was harder to sell to people. And it was weird because like everybody was looking at you at the bins, like, what are you doing? And then now we still have people that'll look at me like, what are you doing? But the regulars, they know what's up.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of grown from there. And then like the staff, the management, everything, they've changed like 4 times, but we always just like introduce ourselves. We kind of bribe them, we'll bring them McDonald's. Everybody gets a sausage biscuit, and, like,
That's all it takes to
yeah,
be
on
able to ship.
Valentine's Day, Stacy made
just a
everybody.
sausage biscuit.
Yeah. On Valentine's Day, Stacy made everybody like a little Valentine's Day thing, and she gave everyone one. And, we're always trying to like, be an example at the bins for some of the people that come in that we could tell are resellers, or then some of the regulars that act like savages, like, hey, you get treated better if you act like this.
Yeah.
But then
Right.
sometimes it
That's
doesn't
smart.
happen, and things happen to me.
I heard you got arrested or something like that. But
Yeah.
I heard it was also clickbait and that was all staged.
Yeah, I wish it was staged. I wish it would have been staged. It would have been better if it had been staged. Some regulars that look at us as competition decided to call it in, I guess. Yeah, for assault.
That's crazy.
So when the officer showed up, you've got 3 women that are saying they were assaulted, and then you've got a guy that looks like me, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is easy. Let's just arrest that guy. Problem solved."
Yeah, who are you gonna believe, right?
Exactly. So, but luckily, like I said, when I talked about it, the manager, when all of this happened at 8 in the morning when they opened the door, the manager was literally right in front of me. That's who I was pushed into. And then all I did was kind of like push myself back to get off of the manager. So he was probably like the best witness. Plus everyone, all the regulars from the store that were there when they opened, they went out and spoke with the officers too. But I mean, that still didn't stop them from frisking me in the store, handcuffing me, and making a big scene, walking me out, putting me in a hot tin car in Texas in the summertime for 45 minutes so I could be in a sauna, and then letting me go and saying, okay, well,
a good time.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I lost like 2 pounds. The car was soaking wet for them, and My legs fell asleep because I don't fit in the back of a cop car.
I remember way back in the day, I used to work for a marble polishing company. We would like
Mhm.
polish marble floors, and we would work at night because that's when the least amount of traffic is. And me and another guy there, his name was Jamal, and we working at an Embassy Suites like hotel, and we go to Wawa to get lunch at like at 2 in the morning. We leave Wawa, and then we see like a helicopter light on our car.
Oh
We're
my
like,
god!
I'm like, what the heck? We turned to go to like the back alley to get to our hotel, and all these cop cars coming out of nowhere, get their guns on us. Says, get on the floor, get on the floor. We were like, what the like what are you like? We didn't do anything. I don't know what you're
It's
talking
just a
about.
sandwich.
So no questions or whatever. They arrest us first in the cop car. I'm like, what do we do? Like there's nothing. So apparently there was like a serial rapist that matched. It was a tall white guy and a short
Oh,
black guy, who Jamal was, and they drove a white work truck, which we were driving.
so you
So
matched the description.
we matched a description of some kind of serial rapist that just was like caught. Like somebody just reported like 5 minutes earlier. So we were in that cop car for 2 hours while they were going through footage of the convenience store that we just left, while we're going
Yeah.
through footage of the hotel that we just left, to prove that it wasn't us, that there wasn't
Wow.
us. And they just let us go. They didn't even apologize or anything. They just said, okay, go back.
Yeah.
And
No,
I'm like,
they never apologize.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And then yeah, that sounds about right. And then you being the tall guy, I'm sure that was fun.
Yeah,
So uncomfortable.
I was more terrified than being uncomfortable, because I was like,
You're
I'm
just
like,
sitting
what
there
if they can't prove it wasn't me?
you're like, oh God, which one of us is the rapist? I don't want to be the rapist. You're the rapist. You're like, this didn't happen, but I'm going to turn on you because I don't want to go to jail and be the rapist.
I don't want to be the. I'm going to be the accomplice, the rapist. I'm going to be the driver.
Yeah, I'll be the driver. Yeah, you be the rapist. Jesus.
Yeah, it was scary. Yeah, then like again, there was. I thought maybe, I don't know if I could get a lawyer, I could sue or something, but I was like, hey, whatever. I'm just glad I'm not in jail.
People that have never had that happen, I was trying, I try to tell them, I was like, it does happen often. Like if you match the description,
Yeah,
you will be put in the car, and hopefully
like what are they supposed to do? They can't like say, oh,
Yeah.
he kind of looks like it, but let's go find somebody else. No, if you kind of look like it,
Yeah.
they're gonna
It's
take you
better.
away.
It's better to inconvenience you for 2 hours and be wrong than
Yeah.
to just let you go and I got away.
Yeah, then if I was the actual rapist, I can go and do it again.
Yeah.
But
Which if you watch any like bios on like serial killers, a lot of times they'd been arrested. They had them, and then
Yeah.
they couldn't. They let them go. Ted Bundy, I think they arrested him like 3 times, and he just kept getting out, or they let him go. So yeah, it's
Crazy.
not always bad to be. I mean, this incident sucked for me and it sucked for you, but I mean, I knew.
At least he got a YouTube video out of it, right?
Yeah, and I knew. I mean, instantly, I was like, when they showed up, the manager was like, "Hey, they're here for you." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, in my mind, I was like, "Well, this is gonna be over very quickly." So I didn't have any. I just complied. I just kept asking them if I was under arrest. That was it. They're like, "No, you're just being detained." I was like, "Okay."
So what happened to the woman that falsely accused you? Are they still going to that bins? Or?
Nothing. The cop said that if I wanted to file a assault against her, since I was pushed from behind, that I could do that. And I was like, dude, I just want to go back to work. Like, I'm live right now. Like, my people are listening to this. Like, my parents are in the stream freaking out. They didn't know that I've been arrested multiple times in my life.
I want to tell them it's okay.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to tell them it's okay and get back to selling stuff. I was about to run a t-shirt lot, man.
Did you tell them to join your what? Did you tell the cops to join a link and say, yo, go buy a shirt to apologize?
Well, while I was sitting in the car, the officer was asking me like, so what do you do here? And I was like, oh, well, I resell stuff. So I find stuff and then I go live online and I sell it. And he's like, and you can actually live off that? And I was like, well, if I could reach my phone, I'd show you my numbers. So I just kind of started telling him like what our numbers were. And he's like, oh, I'm in the wrong profession. I'm like, well, I could have told you that, dude. You're in Houston and you want to be a cop? This is a horrible place to be a cop.
I won the dates here with a preschool teacher. I told her what I do and how much I make. And she was like, you should be ashamed. I'm making this much and I'm teaching kids. I'm like,
You're like, you
I'm
should be
like,
ashamed.
I'm not in charge of how much the government pays you or whatever. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wish
yeah.
they paid you more, but this is how much I make.
You're like,
But
so
she, but she, yeah.
this date's not going well.
Yeah, she made like she showed me her thing. She makes like 2,500 a month doing being a preschool teacher. I was like, wow, that's it. I was like, oof. I had sales weekends that did better than that.
Yeah, you're
I
like, hey,
was like,
look, if this doesn't work out, I just need you to go subscribe to my channel, and I'll teach you how to make some extra money.
I told her like, yeah, hey, like you could do this as a side hustle too. Like it's not like I'm not smart at all. I have very little brain cells, and if I can figure it out, I'm sure you can definitely figure it out how to do it. So it's
That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, look, if I can do this, anybody can figure this out.
yeah. I'm like, it's not rocket surgery, right?
Yeah,
Like the combined rocket science and brain surgery,
yeah.
rocket
It's
surgery.
not
Like
rocket
that's the
surgery, guys. You literally just pick stuff up cheap, sell it for more. That's it. It's
yeah,
literally
that's the
people like I
formula.
see so many different things on like gurus and all this, and I'm just like, guys, it's buy low, sell high,
Yeah.
the end.
Everybody wants to sell a course. So I'm like, legit. It's just you buy something for $1, you sell it for 20. You
Yeah.
do that 10 times a day. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Like there's a
That's pretty
reason the
much it.
dollar store, which there is no dollar store anymore. Now it's like a $1.25 store, but
Yeah.
there's a reason the $1.25 store makes like 10 grand a day. It's because they're getting the stuff for 40 cents and selling it for
Yeah.
$1.25.
Just basic math, right? Even
Yeah.
if you want to like do like a hot dog stand, you buy them for $0.25, you sell them for $1. You sell 10 of those, you do pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
Once you break down like how easy it is, like if they're still like, it's like, okay, you just don't you're the type of person that doesn't have that entrepreneurial like spirit or whatever it is.
yeah.
Like, and I get it. There's some people that love the consistency and the reliability of a paycheck. They love the 9 to 5. They love and I totally get it. You have to enjoy stress and being pressed up against a wall if you want to be a reseller, if you want to be any kind of entrepreneur. If you want to own your own
Yeah.
business, your back is going to be to the wall most days. And a lot of people, that's hard to do. But I think after COVID, it should be a lot easier for a lot of people because they saw how quickly it can all go like that.
But the world needs both, right? The world needs a 9 to 5.
sure.
The world's an entrepreneur. Like, because if everyone's an entrepreneur, there'll be no people to hire.
Exactly.
There'll be no one at the bins, no
No,
managers, right? Yeah. So the world needs both. So I understand, like, if I'm telling somebody and they see and they're pushing against it, I'm going to just stop. I'm like, okay, like I understand you're different.
Yeah.
You like the safety of you like the safety of 9 to 5. That's understandable. I'm just a completely different mindset. So it's that like for me.
Yeah. And
But
then again, that's the whole other thing. It's like, hey, we need teachers. We need people to do these regular things. So if you're not making enough teaching, but you enjoy teaching and that's what you're passionate about, you can totally do this on the weekends.
Yeah.
You can totally hit up
That's
some
what I
yard
always say.
sales,
Yeah.
list 5 things a day on Saturday, 5 things on Sunday, and you can still bring in good money.
Yeah. Well, you kind of like me because you had a full-time business before and you were doing this as a side, right? So you understood the side hustle money aspect of it, of how good that felt, where you got extra money coming in on top of your 9 to 5. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, the side money was actually helping build the business part by allowing me to buy, better chemical, better equipment, things like that.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the whole reason we started the reselling was. Okay, well, we have enough equipment to get started, but if I want to do specialty work in this field, I'm going to need this. This is how much it costs. Okay, well, all I got to do is sell this many items and I can, boom, it's achievable.
So for those that are not aware, it used to be like a Terminex guy, right? Like
yeah,
used to
so
be Inspector Cockroach Killer.
Inspector Cockroach. I worked for a pest control company for 8 years and started no experience, got my licensing. And then within a year, I was a service manager. I was running the show. I had 43 technicians underneath me.
In a year, dang.
Yeah. And then I've just always had that like top of the food chain, like brain. Like if I see something, I'm like, oh, well, how can I make this better? And then you do that a few times, and then people notice and like, oh, let's move this guy into this field. Let's move him into here. And then sales has always been my strong point. So that's what I really did. I started selling.
What? Sales your strong? No.
Yeah. I started selling customers extra work. And then when they offered me the service manager position, instead of taking the salary, I was like, hey, why don't you pay me less and give me a percentage of what I sell? Because and so I went that route. And then within by
kind
year,
of like believing in yourself kind of route.
yeah.
Right?
By year 2, I was almost making what the VP of operations was making. And they were like, hey,
Wow.
we're going to have to make some changes because this is, you're kind of ruffling feathers at the top. And so then they locked me into a salary and I just lost my motivation.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if I show up and do bad, I make good. If I show up and sell a bunch, I make the same. So I started just using, well, I don't want to say using them, but they offered where I could go to like Purdue online and get like certifications in like bed bug biology and pest management, stuff like that. So I started doing that since they were paying for it. I started doing all that stuff, got more certifications, started learning about how to open up my own business, my own pest control company. And then I ended up doing that. I left them, opened up my own company. We did that for 5 years, became the number 1 company in our region. And then at the same time reselling. But then I just noticed, like, man, I was having way more fun reselling. Like when I would be in somebody's attic chasing a freaking raccoon, I'm like, dude, I could be at the bins right now. This sucks.
Dang. So that was like a big risk.
Yeah.
The number 1 company in your area, leave that paycheck behind for.
Yeah. Well, the good thing, I don't want to say a good thing because, you know, when you build something, it sucks to see it go, regardless of if you're happy doing it or not, because you put everything into it. But COVID kind of shut it down a good amount, because once that happened, like I still have to make money. I still have to provide, you know, me and my wife, because my wife was also helping with the company too. So it's like, we still have to pay our bills, but people don't want me in their home. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do exterior work. Well, that's where insects come from. If you didn't know, they come from the outside, then they get in the house.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
No.
They're not already in the house. They come from the outside. So you can technically still treat the outside of the home and it take care of the inside. But people are just like, oh, no, it's fine. And so I just started, you know, gradually losing customers because nobody wanted me in their home. Everybody was scared. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, then we just ramped up reselling. Because it's like people don't want me in their home, but the bins are still open. Their stores are still open. So we just ramped that up, and it got to a point where I was like, okay, well, we're having more fun doing this. And the lockdown just showed us how unpredictable this business can be. Let's just do this. Yeah. Because this is something that I'll always have the certifications. I can always get them renewed. I can always bring this back.
Yeah. That's a good point. I was similar boat as you, because I had a moving business and did reselling on the side. And then I wasn't number 1 moving business in my area, but I still was making 6 figures with the moving business. So doing really good. Then COVID happened. same exact story. So for me, it was more of my government than the people. The people still wanted me to move.
Yeah, but
the governor said I'm not allowed.
Isn't that crazy?
So, yeah, so I would tell my customers, like, yo, according to the governor, I can't do it. It's not a life-sustaining work. Like my guys could be arrested if they go out to do your move. Like it's that serious. They're like, oh wow, okay, we'll try to figure something out. And then they call me the next day. They're like, if you just don't want to tell us they want to move us, it's okay, because we called these other companies and they're working. And I found out that after they called the governor, that the bigger companies that have been around for 20 plus years that are in good with the governor, he gave them a special like working license.
Same thing happened to me. Terminex and all the bigger companies were allowed. Yep.
And I call back. I'm like, how is this fair? They're like, well, they've been around for long. We can trust that they're going to follow the protocols. I'm like, you're going to trust a company of 500 employees going to follow a protocol, but me with my 3 guys, we won't? Like what? So that put a big like sour taste in my mouth. And my guys had to stay home, and they want to make money, so they got hired by the other moving businesses while I was doing nothing. And I was like, yeah, screw that. We're done. We're going to reselling, and we're going to figure it out.
That's what I try to tell people. I'm just like, either way, it's a risk, so you might as well bet on yourself. Like, I was doing everything right, but then I got told I couldn't work. So it's like, I'm in America. This is a free market society. Like, you're telling me I can't work. Are you compensating me since I can't work? Yeah, we'll send you a check. And then the check they send, I'm like, well, what the hell am I going to do with this? This isn't going to.
Yeah. No, it was legit.
This is like
it was like
2 days of work.
It's like a slap in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
I was like, this is
2 days for 6 months.
Yeah. I was like, this is supposed to last me how long again? Oh, yeah. Okay. Goodwill's open. I'll see you guys later. And also I'm saving so much on like, I don't have to pay like the chemical license every year and all this stuff that I would have to pay and update. Like I'm not paying any of that anymore. So
plus like all the chemicals that you're buying, all the pesticides, you don't have that overhead anymore. Like
and who knows what they're doing to my insides all those years of spraying all that stuff.
I'm sure you're doing way less, spending way less on gas and driving and all that time. Yeah. So it's the overhead's definitely.
Yeah. And then the other thing a lot of people complain about is like, oh, I can't leave my job because insurance. Like, well, you can get insurance for yourself. It's going to be expensive. You know, I think Josh said recently, like him and Haley is like $870 a month just for two of them, no kids. And I'm just like, yeah, insurance sucks.
Well, people keep saying that the smarter heads of this reselling community should develop like a union, and we should get like some kind of insurance for resellers. But I'm not a smarter head, so I'm just I'm waiting for Flip the World to start that. Flip the World.
No, it also depends like where you live. Like, you know, there's not, you know, if you, a lot of states in the South are very anti-union. A lot of people, that's more of like a East Coast thing.
I've learned that.
I've learned that here as well. The South is not into unionizing, and you know, it's like everyone thinks like teachers once they hit tenure, you know, they just turn into like pieces of crap. Like, I don't know, they can't fire me. I'm tenured. And that's how I think. I think a lot of people down in the South think about unions. Or like once you hit that certain, you put those dues in. You're like, I'm union. I don't care. Call somebody.
Right. Unions are a different beast, man.
Yeah,
I had to work with some unions in Philadelphia. It was legit. They're like, you can't go into this building if you're not a union employee. You can't park in this parking space if you're not a union employee. It was like all these like crazy rules.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
people think the government is very like us versus the you. It's like, well, no, you got the government's us like you. Then you've got union that's like that. Like we take care of our own. People always say, you know, the police back each other. It's like, well, unions back each other, government back each other, and then here's all of us just. Fighting.
Here's resellers fighting for the space.
Yeah, here's resellers fighting for a space, or
and hating anybody that does better than them, right?
Yeah, better. It's so funny you say that. I just saw a short that somebody in Houston made. I don't know this person. Someone sent it to me and they were like, "Is she talking about you?" And she was filming, and this is why you don't go to the bins in Houston. And then in the corner you see somebody live on whatnot, and then she's like, this guy is ruining resellers, or he's putting a bad taste in people's mouths about resellers going live from the bins. And I was like, man, do I comment? Do I even say anything? Like, and then I just did what I always do is I just stalk them. And I'm like, oh, you just got into reselling. Give it a year.
You're new.
Give it a year.
I've seen sometimes on Facebook groups like people post about me. Like I had a video that go viral about Chrome toasters. Like I wasn't planning on it going viral, but it was just I bought a Chrome toaster for $3, sold for like 200. It went viral. Yeah. And one guy commented, "Now I can never buy a Chrome toaster at any garage sale because 500,000 people saw this video and they're gonna be pricing them for $50." I'm like, trust me, buddy. People there'll be still plenty of Chrome toasters for you to go and buy.
Yeah,
this video won't change much.
People think like YouTube, social media, that's lightning. It's thundering here.
I thought that was your kids fighting or something.
Yeah, I wish. No, random thunderstorm and 102-degree weather. So it'll be nice and swampy in the afternoon.
There we go. Beautiful for
4th of July rain. No fireworks. So people think social media is like the end all be all. Like if I see a clip on YouTube about this, then now the market's going to be ruined. It's like most of the time people that film, it's been like 2 weeks since they got that footage, or it's been a week. Yeah. Like most people don't do it the same day that they find the item or anything, especially with like people that do FBA, like Amazon. They're not going to be like, yeah, this Marshall's is having a sock clearance. They're going to go clear out all the socks and then post it.
And then put a video about it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yes. It's just, again, it all comes down to small minds. And there's small minds in every different genre, every field. It's just, people will always be people, and just keep doing what you're doing. That's how I look at it.
Well, I'm sure you got a lot of hate coming at you from different angles. So
Yeah.
You need thick skin to survive. That's for sure. It's a
Oh,
really
for sure.
big lesson.
Yeah. Once the actual like once the whatnot live from the bin started taking off, I was like, this is either going to destroy my brand or it's going to be great. I was like, but either way, it's making me money, and I really, at the end of the day, I don't care about the social media aspect. Like if everybody's like thinks I'm a horrible person, but I'm taking care of my family, then well, I guess I'll be a horrible person, you know.
So how often do you go to the bins a week for the whatnot shows? Like
4 days,
twice,
4 days right now.
Dang.
Yeah, Tuesday's our only day off. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then of course we don't work on the weekends because that's like kid time. We got kids in soccer, which worst sport ever. Never played it. Like I'm just like, run, kick him. I mean the ball, kick the ball, not him. Oh God, he kicked him. I don't understand. Like soccer's just running with a ball.
You're all those cute parents on Saturday morning out there cheering for little Johnny. That's
yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the cute one, but I'm the one everybody's like, why is he here?
I can see you getting a fight with the coach. Say, yo, that was a terrible call.
Yeah, like I don't know what's happening, but he definitely should have kicked him. So you know, and at 9-year-old soccer, like literally, it's just however many is like what is it, 20 kids just chasing a ball. It's you know, it's like when you go to t-ball. It's not really baseball. It's just somebody hits the ball and then everyone runs to it. There's no positions.
There's no offside calls or anything like that.
Yeah, there's no strikes. It's just hit the ball and let's see what happens.
Just let the chaos ensue, right?
Yeah, like I was like, man, I should make just a short channel that is nothing but like youth sport, just highlight reels of how crazy it is.
Oh yeah, that could take off. That's for sure.
It's like, all right, you're gonna play first base. Where's first base? Somewhere over there. You're gonna end up over there in a second anyway.
Just go stand there and don't pick your nose, kid.
Pretty much, yeah. And then you got the one kid that just lays down and it's like, I don't want to be here. It's
my
awesome.
parents made me come.
Exactly. When snack time. It's so good.
When do we get the popsicles at the games?
Yeah. And then as a parent, I'm just like, oh God, was it our turn to bring snacks? Oh God, please don't. Oh, I forgot. Is it our turn?
There was a Brian Regan bit where he used to play baseball, and he was like, all I knew was we got a free snow cone after the game.
Yep.
And the coach would be like, how many outs, Brian? He goes, free snow cone.
Yep.
Free snow cone after the game.
Who's up to bat? I don't know, but free snow cones after the game.
Who's up to bat? He's like, grape. I'm getting the grape flavor. Grape snow cone.
That's pretty much all Pee Wee sport, man. It's so good. It's so good.
That's how it works.
At least I get laughs out of it watching it because I'm just like, I have no. You can't. You just let them have fun.
So days that you do work, so you bins in the morning. You said you're done the show at 2:30.
Yeah.
Right. And then you come home. You pack it all the same day.
Yeah. So what we do is we come home. We come home and unload, and then the day prior will already be packed. So we just load the car, take it to the post office. We have like a time slot with our post office. They know we're coming that time slot, so they're ready to receive. Because it used to not be like that. They used to
got like 100+ packages. Yeah.
Yeah. So now like we have a time slot. We go to the dock and they're ready for us. And then we'll go get food, or like we'll go to the gym, whatever we want to do, because we don't have to pick the kids up from daycare until 6 o'clock. So we kind of have that time, and then we get home with the kids and do all that. And then I usually start packing after like dinner. And I've gotten it to where I can do like 165 items. I can get it packed in about 2 hours.
Dang.
Yeah, I have like a
That's
shipping.
fast.
I just basically
system?
created a system. Yeah. Which kind of is great, but it also sucks because I'm a very hands-on business owner. So like if we grew to a spot where I was able to, I mean, we're able to, but we just don't want to like pay somebody to take over like the shipping. Like, I don't know how I'd be able to, I could show them the way I do it, but they would want to try to, I'm like, look, I don't care how it gets done, as long as the packages go where they need to go. But I'd still,
that was always my issue when I had employees back in the warehouse. It's like, I would teach them, and then I'll be like, so hard for me not to helicopter over them and then try to say, oh no, I would do it that way. I'm like, no, just let them do it how they want to do it. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
And the whole time I would be like, wow, it's been an hour and they're still taking pictures of these clothes. I would have been done half an hour ago. And
It's
like,
and you forget that,
it's
well,
hard to
I've
get
been
out of that
doing this so
mindset.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that same, and that's something that I acknowledge. I know that that's how I am. But the other side of that is like, this is your baby.
Yeah.
And you're allowing someone in to, it's like allowing someone in to watch your baby, and you want to make sure they're going to take care of it, because they're not looking at it like, oh, this is my livelihood. They're like, well, I get paid X amount of money to do this job. So they're just an employee in your dream. And so you have to figure out how to make it to where it's also part of their dream, which is also very hard. Cause like at one point when we were strictly doing shoes, I had one of the kids is like, hey, I want to earn money. I was like, cool, I'll pay you X amount to clean shoes. And I only give them the shoes that were like, 5 minutes or less. I wasn't going to give them the hard ones. I'll keep doing the hard shoes. But then I would like inspect them. I was like, I noticed, and it's just because I was anal about how they had to look. And I'd go back and I'd end up cleaning,
after you paid to clean
6 out of the 10 pair that I gave them. And they were fine. It's just, they weren't fine in how I do it.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's that relinquishing tasks is very hard. So I don't know if we'll ever get to that point where I can hire a shipper. Like if my parents moved here, I would probably do it, but then I would hate to like micromanage my parents. What are you doing?
That would be interesting. That's for sure.
So, yeah, that delegating it out is hard. So like we still, Stacy does all the digging because I don't like getting into the new rows at the bins. I'm a scavenger. I go to the stuff everybody's already picked over and find stuff that they don't know, brand Rolodex and stuff like that, where she'll get in there and go after it. And then I like doing shipping. I just put on a podcast and I just get to work.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. For me, what I've been doing, I've just been delegating other tasks that are not reselling related to other people, and then I've been focusing on that. So like I have a house cleaner that cleans my house. I don't do that anymore. I have landscapers that go and cut my lawn. I don't do that anymore either. So stuff that I used to do that I don't really care about, and I don't care about how they cut my lawn. I'm not gonna be there helicoptering them saying, "Oh, you missed the spot" or whatever. You know? So like that kind of work, I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about that. I can focus more on this, and it's been working out pretty good.
No, yeah, I love. I said the same thing. It's like, if you don't like to do something, get yourself in a position where you can outsource it.
Yeah.
I hated doing the taxes and the business part of being a reseller. So I finally got to a point where I was like, you know what? I can afford a CPA. I'm going to hire one. And I have one. I don't have to worry about payroll. I don't have to worry about
it's a load off your mind, right?
Oh my God. It's so much better.
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. Like I didn't have to stress about taxes or anything. They just sent me an email with the breakdown. They're like, hey, we just submitted your business taxes for the year. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I did that too. And it's like, whoa. It's night and day.
Yeah.
Just how much less stress you have, how much less you have to worry about.
Yep.
You're just like,
it's worth it. It's so worth it. Like people that are like, oh, it's expensive. Of like, that's one thing that is worth the money. It's so much. It is. And then, I don't do the lawn either. I'll die.
Well, I say me and you have similar climates, right? So
yeah, I'll die.
It's different. I used to cut it back in PA, but cutting it at 55 degrees to cutting it at 9 degrees is a big difference.
90 with like the worst humidity ever.
And that's 90 like at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like you can't escape it.
Yeah, it was I posted a picture the other day. It was almost 8 o'clock here and it still said 102 outside at 8 o'clock. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like we leave like water and stuff out for our landscapers. Like, thank you. I'm so glad I don't have to do the yard.
Yeah. They're out there. They're like in long sleeves shirts. I was like, how are you guys surviving? Yeah. You guys are crazy.
They are the unsung heroes.
Yeah. I posted about this on my vlog, how I did it. And I got some comments saying that it's very financially responsible of me to be paying somebody $40 a week to cut my lawn. And I'm like, if I did it, it would legit take me 2 or 3 hours. Like
that
legit.
Time is money. People don't realize that.
Yeah. Plus, then I would need to do recovery time after I cut it.
Real.
I would need like 2-hour nap after. So
it'll
like
drain you.
Yeah, that's like 5 hours of time I'm spending for $40. That's the easiest decision ever for me to do.
Those are people that are at this part of their life. Yeah. Like even if you go all the way to the chain, doesn't matter. Like you think Elon Musk is walking around doing menial tasks for Tesla? No.
Yeah. Yeah,
If it
that's a
doesn't,
very
if
good
it's
point.
he spends all of his time on what he needs to spend his time on, and it would no matter what you're doing in life as a profession, as a hobby, whatever, you concentrate on using all of your available time to make that the best, and
Yeah.
it'll be the best.
But I've noticed even stuff like I used to go through a lot of like dumpsters for boxes back in PA. And then I noticed I spent way too much time doing that and never find the right box.
Yeah.
Now I just order. I'm like, okay, I'm paying more. Technically, I'm losing money.
Yeah.
But
Now
the
you just
amount of
go to
time I
Supply Hut.
spend,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Yeah, if you want half your supplies.
You get half your boxes for twice as much. No.
I
Shut up,
actually
Kevin
think
Commonwealth Picker.
I actually think I ordered something from I ordered I need 12 by 10 by 8 boxes for some VCRs. I ordered them on eBay from somebody and I just got the package today and it's from Supply Hut. So they might have just like drop shipped them to me from them or something.
Yeah,
So I'm like, oh, I gotta check them. You gotta make sure
I gotta count
I
them.
gotta count. See, there's 100 in here now. Sheesh, that's what I'm gonna be
Yes.
spending my day.
I
Props
just
to Frank though, F&J Treasures. Like I never got the idea ever to unroll my bubble wrap and measure. Like who would ever
who would think of that?
Like I'm
Yeah.
like, guy, sure. It looks like it's 700. I don't know what even 700 looks like when it's
got me
rolled
looking
up,
at my
so.
rolls of tape like, oh man, I really want to unroll a whole roll of tape. It says 60 yards, but is it really? Where's a football field I can go to?
I think he's doing that next. He's doing tape next. And then
that's crazy. Like, I mean, I get the tape from American Bubble Boy. Since they came out with it.
Shameless plug.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think you get
they're not paying you.
I think I get like they gave me a code or whatever, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm horrible at this. I don't have like Amazon links or affiliates, and when I do get sponsors, I'm like, I don't know what they're giving me.
Me too. I don't have. People still say like where do you get that stuff from? I'm like Amazon. They're like, you don't have a link. I'm like, I guess I should, but I don't.
Like,
it's just.
That's the same thing. Like I use the free boxes from the post office, and then when I have to use a box bigger than that, I get the 17 by 11 by 13. It's $1 at Walmart. There's nowhere else that makes boxes cheaper than that. $1. It's $1.
That's actually pretty good. It's cheaper than what I was paying. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, so I just go to Walmart and I buy like 40 of them and a shot. And I'm good.
Well, that's the beautiful part about also doing on Whatnots. You can use all those USPS boxes.
Oh, yes.
I know that. That's you just, and if it's over a pound, shoe box it is. Oh, 12 by 12 by 8 box it is. Cool. Make it work. Yep.
Don't even care if it wiggles. It's closed. Who cares? I'll just, as long as I got a free box for it.
I had to do my first order call last month because I was out of boxes, and I usually get them like 1,000 at a time. No, like I get like 300 of the shoe boxes, 300 of the number 7 boxes, all that. And USPS actually called because it's my first time calling it from my Florida address. Usually I would do it from my warehouse in PA. They were like, are you aware you ordered 1,000 boxes from us? I was like, yeah, I'm aware. They're like, this is your first time ordering. Are you sure you need this many?
Like, yeah.
I'm like, if you go to my previous orders, you'll see I ordered like every 4 months from you guys about this many.
Yeah.
I just changed locations. Like, oh, okay. So you know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, I have one of the sickest forts you will ever see in my backyard.
They're like, we just didn't want to make sure you didn't misclick 20 times and then be surprised when you get 1,000 boxes at your door.
You're like, I have reconstructed Bowser's castle in the backyard. It is awesome. Yeah,
it's amazing.
I ordered the 12 by 12 by 8, the largest priority box.
Yeah.
So you get 25 in a bundle, and I think you can order like 25. So was it 500 boxes or something? I did that 2 days in a row. Because the first one, I never got the confirmation that they received the order. So I was like, I must have not finished the step. So I did it again. Okay. And then because it was so many, it turned into a pallet. They just delivered it to my post office. So when I went to drop off, when I went to drop off the boxes, they were just like, "Hey, are you Chris?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." They're like, "We have a pallet of 12 by 12 by 8 boxes. Did you have them deliver it to us?" I was like, "No, I actually put my home address." And they're like, "Yeah, it's in the back here." I was like, "Do you want me to?" I was like, "Crap. That's not all going to fit in my car." I was like, "Do you want me to take it?" And they're just like, "You can leave it here and take them as you need for now." So I think I have like 5 more cases left, and that pallet's finally gone.
Oh my goodness!
They're like, please don't do that again. I was like, well, no, if you look at the slip, it says it was supposed to be my home. They delivered it here. It's not my fault.
Pallet. Holy moly, that's crazy.
So yeah, they've been storing a pallet for me of 12 by 12 8 boxes for free. It's pretty cool.
They must really like you over there, man.
Yeah, they like me now. They didn't used to. I used to show up and they'd see how many packages and they go, oh.
But isn't there like because I talked to the guy, so I used to have one mailman here because I get him picked up from my door every day, and I used to have one that didn't like it, so I got a different guy now on my route, and he loves that I have packages because he says he gets paid more if he scans more boxes.
Yeah, they get paid per scan. That's why I never understood. Like, so the post office when we had a little falling out when they had a new postmaster, and the postmaster was like, "This is too many packages." And I was like, what do you mean? This is your job. Obviously, probably not the way to go into that conversation. I never really know how to get into a conversation when I'm in battle or argument. I'm just like, wait, what are you talking about?
When I'm in battle,
your whole business model is packages. What are you talking about? Packages.
There's too many packages.
And they were just like, no, you have to call this in. This has to be a pickup. I'm like, I can't leave this many packages outside on my front porch.
Yeah,
everyone would just walk up and steal them.
Yeah,
and they're like, yeah, you can schedule a pickup. I was like, yeah, and they're like, it's $25. I'm like, wait a second, you want me to spend $150?
You have to pay for that now.
$25 a pickup. I was like, you want me to spend $150 a week when I can literally just bring them to you for free? And they're like, yes. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So we just started going to another post office. We would drive further to go to another post office. And then, one day we didn't have a lot of packages. So we went back to the other post office and it was a new postmaster. And they're like, I told them what was going on. And they're like, no, we need you to bring those here. We get credit when we scan those. And that's how we get our funding. I'm like, well, the other store's been getting all your funding because you guys told me that it was too many packages.
That's what I got too. Like he said, like he gets because like their post office gets the most funding, but the mail carrier that scans the most gets like a bigger bonus or something. If you more packages. So he was like shocked that the other guy just didn't want to do it.
I mean, trust me, I'd love to leave them outside and have somebody pick them up, but I can't trust that they'd get picked up. Even with the Ring camera, I can't trust that they would.
I live in I'm surrounded by old people, Chris. So nobody here is doing it. And then I have a screen, so it's not like it's outside. I have a screen porch with a screen door on it, and then I leave them out there for them. And so far, it's been great.
Yeah, no. So I'd have like,
and I don't have to pay. So that's absolutely
that's
amazing.
crazy. Yeah, ours is $25 for a pickup.
Wow.
Because our regular mail carrier that comes every day, they don't have enough room in their truck to take our packages. So we have to schedule our own $25 pickup. Because then I have to let them know how many it is because they have to assess what kind of vehicle to send. So like our average is like 75 12 by 12 by 8 package or 12 by 8 box. It's enough to build
pretty much. They probably might need an empty truck.
It's enough to build a fort. So they're just like, no. So we just load up the car and take them.
Yeah. I just put mine was the same thing because a guy comes on a truck to grab him, and he usually comes at the end of the day because I have about 25 to 30, but I just write 25 every single time when he does a pickup. And so far this guy's been good. This guy's like, if I'm home, like when he's there, he asks, oh, what do you do for a living? Because he's like very interested because my garage is just full of stuff. And I tell him, he's like, wow, that's really cool. Okay. Then sometimes he'll be like, hey, what's the best thing you sold this weekend? I show him pictures like, whoa.
He's the next Joey Bada Bing. You're going to convince him to quit his job.
Hopefully not. I like him. I'm like, stick to your day job, kid. It's not for you.
Yeah. It's like, what do you do, man? It seems awesome. I'm like, no, you'll hate it. Stick to your job. Here's the water.
Scan him. Here's the water. He's a big. I get those ice drinks or frost drinks from Aldi, like where it's like it's kind of like a sparkling water, but not that. But he loves those too. So
nice. Yeah, whatever you got to bribe him to make sure that they keep picking up the packages.
Well, like back in PA, I also had the same guy that like will come to my warehouse pick him up. It was great. Yeah, I gave him like soda when it was hot, or gave him some chips or whatever. It's being a good human goes a long way. When people like that service industry, it's very helpful.
Like I said, that's why Stacy's like, hey, we should get everybody donuts or sausage biscuits at the Goodwill. I'm like, okay. And they don't they don't bring us out stuff. Like they don't go hand pick stuff in the back and bring it to us. But they also kind of just leave us alone, which at the end of the day, that's really all you want.
Great. Yeah.
Just leave me in my corner, let me do my
you
thing.
used to have, like, back when you used to source at the actual stores, didn't you have managers that like, oh, Chris is coming.
Yeah.
You got this cart coming for you, just like that.
Yeah.
What'd you bribe them with?
We kind of did the same thing, but really it just came down to money. It really just came down to money. Like they just happened to notice that every time we came, their store made more money that day. So then finally one of the managers just like, hey, what do you guys do? We're like, oh, we're shoe resellers. They're like, oh, okay. And they're like, you only got like 5 pairs in your cart. I'm like, yeah, I guess you guys have a lot of the same shoes that we saw, 2 days ago. She's like, are you in a hurry? I'm like, no. She's like, we have a pallet back there. I'll have someone start pricing it if you guys can wait. And we never said anything about like, okay, we'll price them low and we'll buy them all. We would always be like, okay, yeah, we can wait around a little bit. And then they would bring out a whole trolley full. And of course, everybody in the store would see them and they'd come over, but they would bring them out because they saw us there. So then we would start buying more. Like, okay. And then they'd ask, like, hey, when are you going to come back to this location? Like, oh, we'll be back on Thursday. Like, okay, we'll make sure we have some ready for you. So it just kind of became a thing. We created a schedule where it's like, okay, they know they come to this store on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And when we got there, they would have stuff out and ready.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And they approached you. That's crazy.
We never tried to tell them like, hey, make everything cheap and we'll buy more. Yeah. Like, we never did anything like that. Whatever they put on the price, like if it was a good shoe, we'd still buy it. That way it wasn't like they were doing anything where they would get in trouble and they would see their numbers go up. Like right now at the bins, because we go 4 days a week and we buy so much, we're the number 1 buyer at that location.
Oh yeah. Well,
so I
can't imagine anybody buying more than you guys.
Not only we're the number 1 buyer, but we're also bringing them breakfast and hey, I'm going to McDonald's to get a drink. You want anything? Like little things like that. Just again, they're not.
You develop a relationship with the people, right? So you want it to be as cordial as possible. It just makes the most sense. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was trying to explain to the officers too. When all that went down, I was like, this isn't just a Goodwill to me. This is like part of my business because I need this in order for my business to succeed. Yeah. So I treat them like it's my business.
That's why I never understood the hate that Josh would get some of his videos at the flea market where he would overpay for some stuff. And people are like, oh, look at this guy. He's terrible. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's overpaying. And I'm like, he's developing a relationship with those flea market sellers. He goes there every single week. And they want to know, like, oh, this is the guy.
I've had so many talks with him about, I have no idea how one of the nicest people in reselling gets the most crap in the comments and people just dogging on him. But then you have someone like me.
It's jealousy, man.
Someone like me who has no filter. And no one ever, I rarely have anyone say anything bad or negative towards me. I think they're just like, oh, that guy's crazy. I'm not going to say anything. I don't know what it is. Or it's because I'm so small that they don't even know I exist.
I have the same thing with Dave, ADH Dave now.
Yeah.
I did a picking video with him. I got like 10 comments saying, you should stop being friends with Dave. He's very rude. He's very disrespectful, does this. I'm like, Dave is legit one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And you're saying he's rude. Have you not seen me?
Yeah.
Like it's always like shocking to me. Like
someone recently said it was Dave saying that you're like harsh with your like your rebuttals on like eBay and stuff. And I'm like,
I'm very honest.
I'm like, guys, have you not been paying attention? I literally screenshot my horrible responses and post them on Instagram stories. I'm like, this is what I told them.
Yeah. Like, well, and they're like, it's a potential customer. I'm like, not on my watch. I don't want them to be a customer. Yeah. If they leave me negative feedback, I don't want them to come back and shop more. I'm going to respond to the feedback, especially if it's a bogus feedback. That's not a customer for me. I'm gonna tell them and let everybody else that's reading it know what actually happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
you're eliminating any kind of friction. Like I don't want those sellers. I don't want those kind of buyers.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've started doing that with people that like send me an offer and then accept, and then they start asking me 50 questions. I'm like, you asked that before you send the offer.
Yeah, I just cancel it, and I'm just like, hey, look, good luck to you. Like questions are meant to be asked before I accept your offer.
I had one just now that says, "Hey, I only have so and so money. Can you accept this offer?" Which was a $30 thing. She offered 26. I'm like, yeah, not a problem. I'll accept 26. Then I accept her offer. She goes, never mind. I only have 24. Can you take 24? And I'm like, I already accepted 26. She's like, can you relist it and set off for 24? I'm like, no, we're done. We're done. That's it. That's it. I don't know if you froze or if you just froze it the whole time. He froze on that part. What a post to freeze on, guys. You guys don't see it anymore. It's a black screen, but he legit froze in the most perfect moment.
Dude, I don't even want to do my show at 1 now. I'm just like so over everything.
It's funny because you legit froze like this. And I was like, I'm not sure if I don't know if he's memeing or if he's just really committed to the bit.
No, because the lights flickered and I was like, oh God, please don't go out. And then he just went, I was like, this is gonna be.
I'm like, if he's committed to the bit, he's doing good. He was like a stare down contest for like 20 minutes.
Dude, this episode is 100% made me realize that I need to just upgrade so I can pre-record because all of this goofiness gets taken out. Hopefully, I would leave some in just to show how.
I'm gonna leave some of it in for sure. It's
yeah, just fun, like, guys, don't ever have Chris as a guest. He's got a
this is what
computer.
This is what happened. Anyways, let's wrap it up so you could hopefully save some internet for your show.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a bat to this thing like on Office Space.
Like the printer, the scanner or whatever. Yeah,
I'm gonna put on some Ghetto Boys and beat the hell out of this thing.
I'm gonna have you on in the future again so we can talk about the stuff when you're not frozen. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to start a new series on YouTube about I thrifted from $0 to buy a new computer.
There we go. That's content. So speaking of that, where can people find you? I know Instagram, whatnot, YouTube. Those are the big three, right?
Yeah, those are the three. It's Flip the World TX on Instagram, Flip the World TX on whatnot, and just Flip the World on YouTube.
Just
I didn't have to add
no TX needed. No TX.
No, someone actually has a Flip the World on whatnot. I don't know how. I guess okay, I do know how, but you know how people go out of their way to buy domain names and then they wait for somebody that needs it. So somebody, I guess, was like, "Oh, I'm going to beat them to it," and they created a Flip the World freaking whatnot.
They're dealing with the wrong guy. There's no way you're paying for that.
I was like, "I think I'm going to actually reach out and be like, hey, that's my name. Can I buy it?" Nope. TX.
TX. Boom.
And the same thing happened on Instagram. Some kid is Flip the World, and I actually reached out to him like a couple years ago because I was like, "Hey, you haven't been active on this thing in over a year," which technically Instagram is supposed to remove that handle after a year of non-use.
Oh, really?
Per their terms and condition, after a year, they're supposed to remove all non-used, and then you'll be able to use it. Which I've reached out to Instagram to try and get that handle, and they just never get back to me. But I actually DM'd the guy. I was like, "Look, I'll give you $500 if I can have your name. Like that's my business name. I have an LLC, and in that name, and all this stuff. And there's no activity
because there's affiliate flipper on Instagram too. So I have to be affiliate_flipper for mine.
Yeah, but and then you had somebody like legit just like doing your stuff, right?
Yeah, but he spelled it with an F. I do Flipper with a PH. He did it with an F. But his big thing was like his intro, be like, "Hey, my name is so and so. I'm the affiliate flipper." And I'm like, "No, you're not, kid. You've been around for 2 weeks." And he used to be like Maverick Flips. It used to be his name, Maverick Flips. Then he changed it because he realized that if he could do that,
he could piggyback
people had searched mine and his videos started blowing up. But as soon as he changed it to that, and I get and like the only reason I found out was because one of my supporters was like, "Hey, I'm searching for your name and these videos are coming out and it's not you." So that's the only reason I found out was through that. Yeah. And we could have done it cordially as well. I commented on his videos. I messaged him on Instagram saying, "Hey, this is not cool, blah blah blah. You should do it off." And he just completely ignored it until I released the wolves on him.
Yeah.
and he got like 8 million comments a day. And then he finally changed it.
Well, see, I was going to create a complete new everything, but still be me. But it was just going to be called Harry Tornado. It was going to be HARRY. I was going to create a Harry Tornado, and I would just, because I'm Harry. That was what it was going to be.
That'd be interesting how that works.
Yeah,
let me know next time how that works out for you. How many millions of subscribers? Yeah,
I wanted to get Josh would be messaging me, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me. Even though you can clearly see, I just wanted a cease and desist letter from Josh that I could frame and put on my wall.
Yeah, add that to your collection.
Yeah. I am the Harry Tornado. Dang it.
Appreciate you being on. We'll have you on again in the future for a longer talk. Hopefully, when you have no issues.
Yes,
but it was fun. Everybody go follow him. I'll put all his links down below. He does a podcast as well on YouTube. He goes live 4 times from the bins a week. Get some stuff. And if you guys just want funny things on Instagram and funny eBay responses and all that stuff, that's what his IG is for.
Come bring me your hatred. No.